Hey there everyone, back again with another video, and in this video we are gonna move forward in our Flipkart clone app. And if you have seen some of my previous videos, basically some of last 2 to 3 videos were in a speed run because I was not feeling well, I was having some throat infection, so was not able to speak much. But mostly what we have done, we have just tried to create a simple API and tried to integrate that in my application. Okay, so basically I will be just telling you how we are doing it. Okay, so we will just ignore this error right now. Okay, leave it. Okay, so it will. Okay, so let us just rerun my server. So basically what we have done, firstly let me just run my server so that this error should get removed. Okay, so basically what I have done, I have just created a, what you can say, um, API, Node.js API, and I have tried to integrate that in my application. Okay, so how we can do that? Okay, so for that, in order to create a API and integrate that, basically you can create the API in any of the programming language that you want. I have just created using Node.js. You can use Java, PHP, Go, anything that you want. Okay, so how we can get that data that we have in our API? Okay, so for that we have to create a future builder. Okay, the child will be a future builder, and future builder will always call a future that will be a function. Okay, this function will call your data. Okay, call your API and fetch your data from that API. Okay, and if we get the data, we will get a snapshot. Basically it will be just a variable. So in the Flutter world we have a name for that. We will say it as snapshot. You can call it anything as you want. Okay, so if uh, we are having any error, if your snapshot has a error, then you can directly do anything. I am just printing that error. I am just printing error. You can directly do anything that you want. Okay, and till we don't get that data, we will call a circular in progress indicator. You will see a progress indicator when we reach the home page. You can see that this was the home page. Okay, there was a progress progress bar that we saw, and after that the indicator just removed because we got our data from the snapshot. You can see that snapshot dot has data, and inside this you can see that we are having our data. Our snapshot will have that data, snapshot dot data. We will directly use this snapshot dot data will definitely have all the data that you are passing from your API, and then you can directly go to each and every index snapshot dot data at index I, and then you can call your name, you can call your anything that you want. So for that, let me just open my Postman so that I can show you some of the data. So I can add a data, and then I will show you much more thing related to it. Okay, so open Postman, and firstly what I will do, I will just add a simple data. You can just go to my previous videos, you will know how my things are working. I have showed you, but still I will create or I will just add some of the data. So create a new HTTP request, get so localhost 3000 slash get item list. I will call it, and you can see that message success, but data is empty array. So I have to add a array. So for that I will just go with the post localhost 3000 add items, add item body, and then raw text will go to JSON. Then we will have something as name. We will go with the name as 1. Then we will go with the cost. I am just setting it as 1. Okay, so send. You can see that success, send. Then we will go with the 2. Then we will set it to 2, send 2 2. And now if I call this get item list, you can see that we got all the APIs. So also all the data that we are setting. Okay, so now how we can directly use this? We know that this is a localhost API, and in order to use this, we cannot directly use this localhost API inside our application. Okay, so it will give us an error. So for that, for a time being, what I have done, I have just used the, what you can say, IP. Okay, the current system's IP. Okay, so for that you can directly go to, I think it is IP. You can go and search IP config. Okay, IP config. It is not showing IP. Yeah, so by this thing you will be able to, one second, let me just see what is that thing. Yeah, IPADDR. Okay, IPADDR. So it will show you some of the IPs of your system. Okay, you will find the IPv4, IPv6, but the thing that you want to use is this INET. Okay, this is the thing, 192. This is my IP. You can just go to your system's IP. Basically this is not publicly accessible, so that's why I'm showing you this thing. So this will directly run in your own network. If your mobile is connected to the same Wi-Fi and your system is connected to your same Wi-Fi, then this whole thing will work. And if you want your application to run globally, then you have to host your Node.js application or any of that application on a server. So free servers are Heroku or anything that you can just search for it. There are many of the free server service providers that will help you to do that. They will give you a URL for that, so you can directly use that URL in place of this localhost 3000, and then just slash your API name. Okay, you can directly use that. So currently I am just using on my local host, so you can see that I currently have a my IP, my current IP, my system's IP, the port, and then the name of that thing. So this was the function, and you have to call a http.get. So http is a dependency that you have to import in your pubsec.yaml that I have imported. You have to first import this http in your system, sorry, in your application, and then you have to import that as http. Okay, firstly you can just import that, then you can directly use the http.get, and you cannot directly pass that URL in. Earlier, the point I started in Flutter, you can directly http.get, and then you can directly pass that URL. You can just go to my GitHub repository, and you can directly see that in my PHP and MySQL application. This is my PHP MySQL application. If you go to the main.dart here, you can directly see that I have used a simple http.get, and directly inside this I have used my API. But now you cannot directly use this API inside, so you have to firstly convert the whole thing into a URI. So you have to use URI.parse, and then you have to give your URL. This will be a asynchronous process, so you have to use await for that, or you can then, or you can also go with that callback things that I'm not going to talk about. So you can use await, and the result of this thing will be stored in a data. So all your data will have a body, so data dot body, and then you can just decode that thing and then just call that data. This is the data that we have here. This is the data, this is that data. Okay, so let's see our application. Do we get that thing? We will go just to refresh or change the whole stuff. You can see that we have 1 and 2. We have given 1 and 2. If I add one more thing like iron man, iron man, and cost, let us give it like 2000. Send. And again, if I change and come back to my own page, you can see that we got the iron man. It means that by this type of thing, if you want to change the content or if you want to change any of the product on the go, you can directly do that. It means that your product or your whole application is a dynamic application. You can directly change the APIs, and the point if someone opens the application, they will get that thing. Okay, so I think that this should be enough for today's session. And I think that most of the thing I have covered in this thing. And tomorrow I will not to go start with this what you can say, I will not go with the Flipkart thing, but tomorrow I will show you how we can create a, what you can say, okay, tomorrow I will see how we can do another things in this Flipkart, or should I start with another things. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.